Buongiorno studenti, come state? Tutto bene? Sì? Spero di sì. I hope so. I hope everything's well. Allora, questo è il video della settimana. 9, sì. Il tempo vola, no? Sì, yeah, time flies. So, che cosa abbiamo fatto nella lezione, nella classe di questa settimana? Allora, ho il documento della classe qui. So, this week, guys, I gave you, I think, 5 sheets, 5 pages total. So, we're going to have a look at 2 main kind of elements. So, the first one was modal verbs. Che cosa sono? These verbs are super useful. So, these verbs are the verbs volere, which means to want or to wish for, potere, which means to be able to, or it translates often as can, like can I can, etc. And dovere. So dovere is like to have to or must. So for example, let me give you an example of these. Let's just see if you can see this board here. So I've got them all written out on the board there, and we'll zoom in a wee bit, and hopefully you can see what I'm showing you. So andiamo un po' più vicino così, ok? Va bene? Sì, spero di sì. I think so. I think that's okay. Just playing around with my stand here. So let's start off with volere. Volere. So what did this mean? Che cosa significa? Questo verbo, molto utile questo, it means to want. To want. So, for example, voglio. By the way, don't worry if my head's out of the frame for a little bit. I'll try and get back in a little bit later. But voglio, let's see. Voglio pagare. I want to pay. Voglio pagare. Non voglio andare. I don't want to go. So you can put non in front of it and you can make it negative. Voglio, I want. Non voglio, I don't want. So, voglio pagare. Voglio andare. Voglio mangiare qualcosa. I want to eat something. So the useful thing about this verb is, or this conjugated verb, so you've changed it from the infinitive form into the conjugated form. So these are all present tense because that's what we've been focusing on this course. Once you conjugate these, you can then do something really useful, which you can't do with every verb in Italian. So that's why they're sort of really helpful verbs. So if I said voglio andare, I want to go. What have I done there? So, you know what I think I'll do? I think I'll just get, I wonder if I get down on my knees to see. Okay, sì, andiamo così. Okay, so it looks like I'm really short now. You either see too much of me or you see too little. So, voglio andare significa I want to go. You put the infinitive verb after the conjugated verb and you've made a sentence. Super useful. Voglio is the io form, I. So vuoi, vuoi, V-U-O-I, vuoi is the to form. And vuole is the lui, lei form, he or she wants. Lei vuole andare, she wants to go. Michele vuole mangiare qualcosa, Michele wants to eat something. 1, 2, 3. So these 3 here are the singular forms, remember. So in this verb table, or in any verb table you'll see, it tends to be laid out like this. First person, second person, third person. Singular. All those 3 are singular. First, second, third, plural. Okay, so when people say they're talking about themselves in the third person, it means that instead of saying, I am great and I'm intelligent, they're saying, Charlotte Moore is great and intelligent. So almost talking about yourself in like Napoleon, you know, as if you're another person. So first, second, third person, think about it like that. The third person, that's singular because you're talking about one. So lui, lei vuole pagare. He or she wants to pay. Now when we're using the third person, remember that can also be used as the formal form, lei. So if I'm asking someone, do you want to go? but I'm asking someone in the polite form. I could say, vuole andare? Lei vuole andare? So that happens with any verb in the third person. It can also be the formal form, so it can be a bit confusing. Now, you can notice that the stem of this verb is vol, vol, but we've only actually got the stem appearing here, look, in the second person plural. So that, which form is that? That's the voi form. Let's see if I can zoom in a wee bit. Here we go, one more there, okay. So, volete, voi volete imparare italiano. See, you want to learn Italian. Bravi. So that's the you form, you plural. Vogliamo. So even though it sounds like it's just VOL, it's actually got a GLI, li sound. It's also in voglio. So you'll see that li sound a lot, but vogliamo. So you should remember that because iamo in a verb tells you it's in the we form. Okay? Vogliono. Alla fine, at the end, vogliono. Loro vogliono mangiare una pizza. They want to eat pizza. So this verb is super useful, and you can use it with infinitives afterwards. So think of all the infinitives that you know. Let's have a think of some of the ones that we've done to date. So at the end of the handout from week 9, I sort of summarised on a page, just for your reference, really, to show you how much you kind of looked at. I've got the sort of verb tables here in the present tense, and they're just some of the verbs we've looked at together. So let's have a look at some of them. The first two are auxiliary verbs, essere and avere. So, okay, essere. So that's the verb like where you say I am, he is, she is, etc. So I could say voglio essere più alta. I want to be taller. Voglio avere una nuova macchina. I want to have a new car. Vogliamo avere una casa più grande. We want to have a larger house. So there's some verbs that you can use with this modal verb volere plus the infinitive form. So that's a form that hasn't been changed. So I don't know if you can see up here, we've got a couple of the auxiliary verbs. Then we've got ARE verbs, yeah, things like parlare, voglio parlare italiano. Voglio trovare il mio telefonino. I want to find my telephone. Voglio ascoltare la musica. I want to listen to music. Voglio guardare un film. I want to watch a film. Vogliamo viaggiare in Italia. Che significa? Vogliamo viaggiare in Italia. So you can find what these mean by looking on that verb table sheet that I've given you students. So we want to travel in Italy. So the nice thing about modal verbs, which are all these three on the board, questi tre qui, is that they can be followed by infinitives. So that's the verb to want. Worth mentioning here is that you might want to say something, instead of saying I want or we want, you might want to use a kind of bit more polite form, like I would like. So in Italian you can say, instead of voglio, you can say vorrei, vorrei. I would like to. Vorrei mangiare qualcosa. Now, for this second part, there's something I need to check, and I also want to sort of demonstrate something to you with a very trusty book of mine. So this, as soon as I went to uni, I got this book, and it was a lifesaver. It really helped me understand verbs and how they work. So, the way that you say we would like in Italian, it's called the conditional tense. We would like, we would eat. we would go. It kind of roughly translates as would. So if you've got a verb book like this, or a section inside your dictionary called sort of conjugation or verb tables, try and find the verb volere. Now that's spelled V-O-L-E-R-E. So I'm going to go and find it for you, but for me as well. Because the we form of volere, so you'll get verb tables that look something like this. Don't worry, non vi preoccupate. These are actually very useful when you're learning. So if I want to know how to say we would like, I go to the verb volere. Here at the top, look, it says to want. Can you see that? To want. And I go to the conditional tense, and I see that the first person plural is vorremmo. Vorremmo. Okay, so vorremmo, vorremmo. Two R's. That's what I was going to check actually, because sometimes I'm not sure if there's two of a letter or not, but you can just check. So vorrei and vorremmo. In fact, the clue that it's got double R is actually in the vorrei. I would like, we would like. So vorremmo pagare adesso per favore. We would like to pay now, please. But don't worry too much if you just use the present tense. Vogliamo pagare adesso per favore. You know, it depends what you're saying. Say it nicely, say please. You don't have to worry about the conditional tense, but that's how you find it. So, useful if you're going to continue studying with me. Second modal verb is this verb potere. Potere. P-O-T-E-R-E. Potere. This means to be able to, and it often translates into English as can, like I can. You can also use it for questions, really useful for questions. So, posso pagare adesso? Can I pay now? Posso, so it's got this double S, posso. It's not in the infinitive, so these are all very irregular. They don't follow the sort of set pattern. In fact, again, the one that sort of resembles closest the infinitive of the verb is potete, which is the voi form. Voi potete parlare italiano. So you can, you're able to speak Italian. So volete, potete, both look like the stem of the verb and have ete at the end because they're ere verbs. But the other ones, highly irregular. Don't worry about that. So it's just a case of learning these, becoming familiar. Learn in particular the I form and the we form if you travel on your own or together in Italy, and worth looking at the lei form or the voi form to be able to ask questions of people and to recognise that they're asking either you as in a formal way or you plural. So let's have a look at the pronunciation. So posso, io posso. Tu puoi, puoi, può. Remember there's a little accent down there, the accent grave, which means you sort of say it short. Può. Lei può parlare più lentamente, per favore, sì. Okay, so can you, in the lei form, speak more slowly, please? Possiamo mangiare fuori. We can eat outside. Or you can make it a question by using your intonation. Possiamo mangiare fuori? Sì, potete mangiare fuori. Certamente, possiamo. So potete, possono. Possono, they can. Loro possono andare domani. They can go tomorrow. So again, you can follow any of these verbs in their conjugated form with an infinitive. Super useful. Okay, let's have a look at dovere. So this is another useful verb, and it can mean sort of two things, more or less. See if I can get that closer to the board. I mean, closer to the camera. Okay, qui, andiamo qui. Dovere. Dovere. So this means, so that means can or be able to do something. This means to have to, Like I have to do my homework, or I must do my homework. So have to or must. Okay, so oggi devo andare al supermercato. I have to go to the supermarket today. Oggi devo lavorare. Today I have to work. Lavorare, so you just tack on an infinitive to the end, and you can make loads of sentences. Remember, you can make the negative just by putting non in front of the verb here. Io devo, tu devi, lui, lei deve. Okay, so these three have a sort of V sound, but instead of starting D-O-V, they start D-E-V. V. Dev, dev, dev. Strano, no? When we get to the noi form, it changes again. So, dobbiamo. Let's get a little closer. Noi dobbiamo andare. We have to go. We must go. Dobbiamo andare adesso. You have to go now. Voi dovete guardare questo video. Sì, dovete. So you have to or you must watch this video. And then the last one, devono. So we swap back to the dev sound at the beginning. So I ragazzi devono pagare il conto. So the boys or the guys have to pay the bill. Devo, devi, deve. Remember an E sound is always an E. Deve. Dobbiamo. Nice little iamo sound, so that's the noi form. Dovete. So that sort of follows the normal rule. Devono. So everything apart from the voi form is irregular as far as the sort of normal endings go, and also the change of the stem of the verb. So don't worry too much about that. But super, super useful, these three verbs, and they're called modal verbs. That's M-O-D-A-L. So if you want to check those out online, find out a little bit more about them, or examples of their use, look for Italian modal verbs. They're also called this in other languages, French, for example, if you're studying French. So, allora, vediamo qualche esempio. Let's have a look at some examples. So, for this I'm going to refer to my handout. So, even though I gave you 5 pages on the handout, not all of them were numbered. So, the first one, pagina 1, looks something like this, without the scribbles. So, well, in fact, I should put that back just for reference. So we can look at examples of how you use these verbs. So let's give you some examples. Posso vedere il menu, per favore. Posso vedere il menu, per favore. So that's from this verb potere. Posso, I can. Again, you can use it as a question. So if you want to make any statement a question, you just say the same order of words. Posso vedere il menu, per favore could mean, can I see the menu, please? But if you just say posso vedere il menu, it could mean I can see the menu, as in I'm able to see it. It's over there. There it is. So that's a nice one. Devo partire alle 8. Devo partire alle 8, alle 8. So, when was it, last week or the week before we looked at times? So, devo partire alle 8. I have to, or I must, leave at 8 o'clock. Voglio mangiare qualcosa. Voglio mangiare qualcosa. Voglio mangiare qualcosa. I want to eat something. I'm hungry. Remember that if you're telling someone that you're hungry, this is just a sort of by the by bit. If you're telling someone you're hungry, you don't say I am hungry, you tell them you have hunger. So let me just remind you of how you do that. So hopefully this pen works. I have, ho, yeah, well done, fame, think of the word famine, ho fame, I have hunger. Similarly, if you're thirsty, ho sete. I have thirst. Sete. Ho sete. Yeah, it looks a lot like the number 7, but that's got a double T. Sette. Sette. Okay, so posso, voglio, posso, and devo. Super useful. In the noi form, vogliamo, we want. Possiamo, okay, posso, possiamo. And dobbiamo. Dobbiamo andare, we have to go. I'm using that verb andare a lot because well, we looked at it recently and we'll have a little look. You'll be using it in your homework for this as well. So, come si dice in italiano? Come si dice? We have to leave. We have to. Or we must. We must leave. We must. Dobbiamo. Dobbiamo. To leave. Come si dice to leave? We did this a couple of weeks ago. IRE verb. Partire. Sì, dobbiamo partire. We have to leave. A bit different to have to go, because to go could be to go somewhere, but to leave means that you're departing from a place. It doesn't tell you where you're going, it just says that you're not going to be at that place anymore. Okay, what about this one? How do I ask someone what they want? What do you want? It doesn't have to be as negative as that, you know, as rude, but how would I say, what do you want? So that's from the verb to want, volere, and it could, there's 3 ways you could say it. How do I start a question with what? Okay, generally you can start it with che cosa, okay, or you could just say che. Che cosa, so do you want? So we need just to conjugate that verb to want in a U form. So there's 3 U forms, aren't there? Do you remember what they are? Well, I think you've probably got it now. We do this every week. So there's the first U form, vuoi. That's the 2 form. So che cosa vuoi? What do you want? It does sound a little bit rude, like impolite, but you know, you might hear it. So that's the 2 form. The lei form, che cosa vuole? What would you like? Lei in the formal. Che cosa volete? What do you want? What would you like? That's in the voi form. Well done. Well done. Okay, let's try a different one. Okay, here's one. So sometimes I don't hear so well, so I have to say something like devi parlare più forte. Tu devi parlare più forte. So, what's that mean? Parlare più forte. Right? To speak louder, like more loudly. So forte can mean like strong, so like, yeah, I'm strong, or it could mean loud. Okay, think of a pianoforte. Piano is like soft or gentle or quiet, and forte is like strong or loud. Okay, so devi parlare più forte, like you have to speak more loudly. Okay, non posso sentire, I can't hear. So sentire is another IRE verb, we haven't looked at it yet, but instead of meaning to listen, which is ascoltare, like to actively listen out for something, or to take heed, sentire means to hear, like for a noise to be received by your eardrum, for you to recognise it's there. Non posso sentire. Okay, so there's number 5 on page 1, and then on page 2 of the handout, I should have it here. So we didn't actually look at this, I don't think, in class, because we moved on to something else. So there's some exercises. I'd like you to look through them, please. Complete them if you'd like, and I'm very happy to give you feedback, either in person during class or after the class, to see how much you've understood. So this looks at some of, well, first of all, it uses some of the things that we've seen in previous weeks. So I'll give you an example. On page 1, number 5, trying to mix up some of the verbs that we've learned. So number 5 says, dove vado per comprare o trovare queste cose? Where do I go to buy or to find these things? So basically, I've kind of got a shopping list. This is for you to test your comprehension. So here's one. Una carta della città. Where do I go to find una carta della città? A map of the city or the town. So you might say, in response, per comprare una carta della città, vai all'ufficio turistico. So you go to the tourism office. So let's have a look at another one. Per comprare 10 mille. 10 mille. Now there might be words here that you don't understand, but if they're in the plural, like melle, I'd like you to start thinking, wow, it's talking about 10 melle, so it's in the plural. It's got an E at the end of melle. It's probably mella in the singular. Look up that word mella, you'll find it means apple. So, dove vado per comprare 10 melle? So, tell me where it is that I would go to buy them. So you could say at the green, or to buy 10 apples, you go to the greengrocers, or you go to the supermarket. Vai al supermercato. So this is where last week and the week before's andare and a list of places in town will come in useful. So that might be quite hard, but give it a go, okay? If you don't want to write whole sentences, just write to the supermarket or to the post office, to the pharmacy, that kind of thing, okay? It's just so that you've got an idea of what it says, what it means, and that you know how to look up a place using, say, resources or references, dictionaries, that kind of thing. Okay, next thing. So then we moved on to a little sort of game which took up most of the rest of the lesson. And so I printed off a page that looked like on this, which is as well as a photocopy actually from a book which gave you some instructions, which I'll write on the board in a sec. So I also have the page that I've taken a photo of here. So this is all about giving instructions and asking people how you get somewhere. Possibly pretty useful when you go to Italy. So let's have a look. I've drawn a sort of imaginary city. We've got a few different roads. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 strade, so there's 4 roads. C'è il fiume, qui, there's a river at the bottom. Il panificio, il cinema, il ponte, il parco, la scuola, supermercato, l'ospedale, eccetera. Tanti posti in una città. So there's lots of places in a city. So I've done some scribbles on here, but you've actually got basically a photo of the empty board. And on these little bits of paper it says voi siete qui or voi siete qua. That means you are here. So qui and qua means here. So in order to give people directions, for example, let's write down you are here on one of these little things. Voi siete qui. Voi, so we know what voi means, don't we? It means you, or just you. Siete, well, we saw that a few weeks back from essere, you are. Qui, you are here. I'm going to stick this somewhere. I'm going to stick it qui al ponte. So I'm going to stick it here by the bridge. In fact, I'll stick it there just at the edge of the bridge. Just make sure you can see where we're going. So qui c'è il ponte e noi siamo qui. We're here. Dove vogliamo andare? Where do we want to go? So let's make it kind of tough. We need to go. Vogliamo andare al bancomat. Okay, we want to go to the ATM. So the ATM is up here on the top there, and we're going to ask the question, how do you get to the bancomat? Okay, the ATM. So we're asking someone here, imagine we're on this bridge, and this is what we say. So up at the top of this sheet it says there, come si va per andare a. How do you get to? Come si va per andare a? How do you go in order to get to? So how do you get to somewhere? Now we're going to the bancomat, which is il bancomat. Right, so do you remember that when you say a plus il, it becomes al. So andiamo al bancomat. Come si fa per andare al bancomat? Per favore. Okay, so we just asked that nice question. How do you get to, or how does one get to the ATM, please? Okay, so we need to understand instructions, the kind of instructions you might hear. Okay, I can't guarantee this is going to cover everything that you might be told, but first of all, so these are all in the lay form. First one, prenda, take, prenda. So when might you hear that? Take, for example, take the first on the right, or the first on the left, or the second on the right. So we need to know how to say the first, the second, etc. So prenda la prima, that's the first, la seconda, that's the second, and la terza, the first, the second, and the third. Why is it la? La prima, la seconda, la terza. It's because I'm going to use the word strada afterwards, which is the first road, or the first street. You might hear continui, which means keep going or continue. Diritto, diritto, straight. Now, I'm never sure if this is diritto or dritto, like without an I there, but I'll check that in a minute. So, continui diritto, go straight on. Vada means go, like it's giving someone the instruction, like go as far as the supermarket and then take a right. So, vada, you might hear vado fino a, that means as far as or until. So let's say, okay, fino a, so we've got the preposition a. We need to, if we're going to say something like go as far as the, not the hospital, the hotel. Fino al albergo. Fino al albergo. So, A plus L apostrophe equals A double L apostrophe. That's like a combined preposition. Looking at that. Here, A plus L apostrophe equals A double L. So, vada fino all'albergo. Go as far as the hotel. And then you might hear something like giri a sinistra or a destra, so turn left or right. So giri comes from the verb girare, which means to turn. And I think Nick pointed out that you have something like the Giro d'Italia. Sì, bravo. So that is the tour of Italy, so it's related to turning or going in a circle, if you like, or a loop. Giri a sinistra. Or you might hear giri a destra. Okay. So what if you want to say, take the first turning on the left, or the first turning on the right. So you might hear, prenda la prima strada a sinistra. Or you might hear, prenda la seconda strada a destra. You might hear something like that. You might hear something that is slightly different though. You might hear sulla sinistra, on the left. Or you might hear sulla destra. So they're more or less the same as a sinistra, on the right. So in English we just say on the right, on the left. We don't differentiate between these two prepositions, su and a. Don't worry too much about that. What if we want to say then or afterwards, like do this, do that, and then do this, afterwards do that. So we also looked at those words, so running out of space here, but poi, that means then, and dopo, afterwards, like dopodomani, someone mentioned, the day after tomorrow. So, okay, what we're going to do now, I'm just going to do this once, because otherwise it'll go on forever and ever. And we're already at 34 minutes. Mi dispiace, I'm sorry about that. we're going to go from here, il ponte, and we're going to go al bancomat. Okay, so sorry if you can't really see this too well, but students, you will have a copy, so if you want, you can get out this page and you can follow what I'm saying. So, you've just asked, come si va per andare al bancomat per favore? Okay, and then I'm going to give you the instructions. So, okay, da qui, so from here, vada attraverso il ponte. So that means attraverso, go across the bridge. Didn't write that down, but it's written here. Vada adesso attraverso il ponte, poi continui fino all'albergo. Continue as far as the hotel. Poi prenda la prima strada a destra. Okay, take the first right. Continui diritto fino alla stazione di polizia. Okay, continue straight until the police station. Dopo, or poi, then, giri a destra, turn right. Continui diritto. E il bancomat è sulla destra, and the ATM is on the right. Perfetto. Okay, we're there. Lovely. So that's just an example. I'm sorry if it's quite a long video, un video molto lungo, but that was quite a nice little exercise. Now, what I'd like you to do as homework, if you have time, se volete, if you want, se volete voi, if you want, I'd like you to have a look at page 2, so dovere, della pagina 2. In fact, I'd like you to look at esercizio numero 5, sulla pagina 1, page 1. And I'd like to try, or I'd like you to try, to write answers or identify a place where you'd have to go in order to get these things or to find these things. So you can write full sentences if you like, using the question at the top. Or you can just write to the blah blah blah. You go to the petrol station. So that's like a little reading and writing exercise. Then on page 2 you'll find another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ancora 5 esercizi. So have a little look through them. You might find them a bit easy, you might not find them so easy. These sort of are trying to link some of the previous week's knowledge together. Other than that, just watch this video if you have the time, or just listen to it if you like. And la settimana prossima è nostra ultima settimana. It's our last week, so it's really sad. I am probably going to run another course if you're interested. I've also got an Italian club, or you can do one-to-one tuition with me, or small groups, whatever you like. Just ask me if you're interested about that, and I'll keep you posted. But next week we're going to just basically be doing lots of games, all class, so it should be pretty useful, and hopefully it'll tie up sort of some of the things that we've looked at together. So grazie mille, buona giornata e ci vediamo lunedì prossimo. Grazie, ciao!